Well, it's good evening and welcome to Oxford TV as we bring you live action of the ROWE Motor Oil Premiership clash between the OXS Oxford Spires and the Watling JCB Leicester Lions. There we go. Sheffield, Bellevue, Leicester and Ipswich. Those four are confirmed. The order might swap somewhat with the next couple of meetings, but there we can see Oxford, one meeting to go. Pride on the line. It's been a good season for Oxford. We'll hear from Oxford team manager Peter Schroeck on that in a little while. But they can be rightly pleased with their first outing back in the top flight of British Speedway. They've certainly done themselves justice on many an occasion, and they've given us some phenomenal speedway here with many last heat deciders. Probably too many, hence those 3 aggregate points there, and you can see Ipswich above them with 6. Could be a bit of a telling factor in the fact that Oxford didn't make the top 4 here. So we've got a lovely day here today, and Oxford's been very warm. Track, did a bit of a track walk before I made my way upstairs. Plenty of grip on the circuit tonight. Outsides have been ripped up nicely. Plenty of grip on the starts. Let's take a look at the Oxford Spires. This is how they're going to line up tonight. They're really pleased to welcome Rohan TUNGATE back into the side after injury. Spoke to him briefly before coming upstairs to the comms box, and he said he was feeling fit, okay, and he was ready to give it a go tonight. At number 2, Erik RISS. Didn't start the season with the team, but came in and has had a wonderful impact at 2. Tough place to ride from. He'll be hoping to finish his season here on a high from that number 2 berth. Chris Harris, surprising that he's got a 6.79 average when you think of the scores that we've seen Chris score this season. But a bit of a change in the riding order with Chris coming up to 3 today. In that engine room of the side, he's going to be joined by Charles Wright at 4. Another British champion alongside Chris there. Can't ask for a better engine room of the side, especially here at home against the informed Leicester Lions. The man that swapped with Chris, Maciej JANOWSKI, back down to number 5 in that heat leader position. He's really hit some form in the last few weeks. He's scored big, he's riding well, looks like he's super confident, and has really found the form. A little bit too late potentially to push for those, help the side push for the playoff spots, but he's in great form and we're looking forward to seeing him ride from that number 5 spot. The 2 reserves, Ashton BOUGHEN, had a great season. Ashton, he's obviously a cheater and a spire this season. He's made great strides. Still has to remember that he's young, he's learning his trade all the time, and there isn't that much expected of him apart from what he puts on himself. And Luke Killeen, again, who come into the side a little bit into the season. He's finished off the season in the team. He's an exciting young Australian-born rider they've got down there at number 7. And he's been phenomenal in the National League and have been excellent as well across all 3 teams for Oxford. And Peter Schroeck, obviously the manager of all the sides here, Spires, Cheetahs and Chargers. What we'll do is we'll catch up with an interview from him in a moment or 2. Let's have a look at the away side then. They come here, bags of confidence, really on form, riding well. Max Fricke, out and out number 1, obviously been in the GPs. Let's cover with the injuries they've had there. Phenomenal on his day, unbeatable on his day. Leicester will be hoping that he can continue the form that he's got. Number 2, testimonial man coming up, Richard Lawson. This is testimonial at Paul. Great servant to British Speedway in that number 2 spot, and again he can score big from there. And Max and Richard, that's a very strong top end of their side that they've got. An Oxford cheetah at number 3 in Sam Masters. He's been excellent for the Cheetahs this season. Has really pushed the Cheetahs into the Championship playoffs. But for Leicester, again, excellent rider, really consistent performances, scores well, scores top points, and know what they're going to expect from him. Luke Becker, a man who rode in the Speedway Nations and was phenomenal for the United States, and he's just carried that form on, and he's almost injected what he had there into the rest of the team, because since the Speedway Nations, that is when Leicester have hit that purple patch and gone on a run. He's in scintillating form, Luke Becker. It'll be exciting to see him tonight. Ryan Douglas, just come back from a bit of an injury. He's been in the side and he's been riding, but he's got a nasty burn on his arm. Spoke to him earlier on. He said, look, I'm feeling okay. It's just one of those things. Once you get the Kevlars and your helmet on, you kind of forget about it. But yeah, he's struggling a tiny bit with that injury, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes this evening. Strong number 6. The strongest reserve on paper tonight is Craig Cook. He did have a short spell here as cover earlier in the season. And again, on his day, if he can hit that ground running, he could be phenomenal down there at number 6 for Leicester. And young Sam Hagon, he's had a stellar year. Sam, he's won the British Under-21s. He's won the equivalent of the National League Riders, and he's making really great strides in the sport, Sam. So they're looking strong, Leicester. They have been phenomenal this season. So earlier on, I managed to catch up with the 2 team managers, Peter Schroeck, and then we can see Stewart DICKSON, and got their views on tonight's meeting. Okay, Peter Schroeck, Oxford Spires team manager. Peter, last home meeting of the season, so near yet so far.
Yeah, but overall it's been a great season. You know, I think for entertainment we've done a good job this year. Yeah, we lost out at the end, but you know, nevertheless, you know, it's been a good season for all of us, and it's our first season as well in this league. So there's other teams been chasing a lot longer than we have. So we're just going to rebuild and start again next year. And
that's the way to look at it, isn't it? There's so many positives to take from it. And I think from an entertainment point of view, the Speedway this season here, nail biting for you, hair loss for you, but it's been so many last heat deciders. The action's been superb.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody who comes here enjoys racing here, but it's good for the crowd. You know, good for TV. I think we had some great meetings here, great evenings, and yeah, long may it continue. You know, we're really happy with the season. You know, at the end of the day, the playoffs are important, but they're only good when you actually win them. You know, so at the moment we're in a good 5th place. You know, we're going to try and defend it tonight, and I rate this Leicester team. They really come good. If we can beat them tonight, we've done a great job, and you know, we can go into winter rebuilding and then start again next year, and I'm sure we're going to go a step higher.
Yeah, when you look back at the meetings that you've had here and you look at how close they've been, and the entertainment's been brilliant, but ultimately those aggregate points potentially is what has just cost you that opportunity of getting into that 4th spot, isn't it?
Yeah, that is what it is. You know, the aggregate points are really, really important. So, you know, we have to win a little bit more convincingly here at home next year, but I think we're, you know, making 1 or 2 maybe changes to go that, you know, to strengthen the team a little bit more, you know, will give us that firepower, you know, because it is a tough league to be in, you know, like everybody sees, you know, and there's some tough riders against coming here, so yeah, but overall, you know, we're really pleased.
Yeah, and I think you should be. And the crowd have really responded to the 3 teams, because the crowds I've seen here for the top flight have been absolutely brilliant. And I have to say, from a personal, and I think for a lot of people, to see Oxford back in the top division is fantastic. And like you say, long may that continue. Build for next season. It'd be great to see you back in this top league again.
Yeah, I think that's what sometimes people forget, don't they? You know, there was no Speedway here for 15 years, I believe.
Absolutely.
You know, and then suddenly we're back, and bang with a bang in 3 years, you know, and it's our 3rd season, and you know, we've been building and we're getting stronger and stronger. You know, there's a lot more things going to happen within the stadium and one thing and another. So, you know, we're building for the future, and you know, obviously having 3 teams, you know, all the youngsters, when you see what we've done with them, they all come through. Some of them riding in 2, sometimes riding in 3 leagues.
Yeah, absolutely.
For us, which is very unique.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't been done before, so I think we can be very proud of sort of, you know, on holding our own on that front. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, well, congratulations on a great season. Good luck tonight, and if you, like you say, if you can top all these boys tonight, that's a great way to end the season.
Definitely.
Thanks, Peter.
Cheers.
Okay, I'm joined by Leicester Lions team manager Stewart DICKSON. Stewart, 9 on the spin. Fantastic run, mate.
It has been. It's got to end sometime, hopefully not tonight. That'll be the message on the track walk, but as you rightly say, we're in a good run of form. Feels like a little while since we've been together again. I think it's a couple of weeks, so hopefully we can kick on for where we last were. Yeah.
Can you put your finger on what clicked, what made? Because it was high expectation at the start of the season, because you built a really strong side. Didn't get going like you thought you might, and then all of a sudden you just seem to bang and move, and you haven't looked back.
I would say the key word, Lee, is confidence. No matter what I said, I'm not saying sometimes the team managers talks don't work, but when a rider's down, you know, it's up to him to get. But you can talk to him till you're blue in the face. But I think it's no been any coincidence that Luke Becker's came back to form. He's riding almost like a second heat leader now, which is he's actually, I think he's 5th in the averages, so that's been most helpful. Craig Cook obviously coming back. I think he scored paid 11 and paid 10 his last 2 matches, so these are the sort of scores he's capable of, so I think that's helped us at the bottom end. And just generally, when Luke Becker's come back to the party, the rest of them seem to have raised their game at the same time. I can't put my finger on it why, but it's very pleasing.
Yeah, after the Speedway Nations, Luke was superb in the Speedway Nations, and then since then it does tie in nicely that that seemed to, you know, just get you guys in the driving seat.
That could have been the catalyst for why, the reason he's took off. To have him at number 4 is obviously very important. Him and Sam Masters give us a very strong middle order.
Very much so.
But obviously Max Fricke and Richard Lawson is another strong pairing. And Ryan Douglas is kind of silent hero. He just goes about his business nice and quiet. He's up to, I think it's a 760 average. When we got him at the start of the season, just over 7. So he's actually put about half a point on his average, which is he just goes about his business nice and quietly.
Yeah.
And maybe he's not had the plaudits he deserves because he's been riding at a difficult number 5 position too.
I've always said that about Ryan. I don't think he's ever got the plaudits he deserves. How is he? Because I know he picked up a bit of an injury, burn on the arm. Is he okay for tonight? Is he?
Seems okay. He's got that burn. I think he's got it wrapped up. It looked quite sore. He sent me the pictures. Yeah. I know he likes a wee bit of social media attention. Feels sorry for himself and that. They all do. Yeah. But no, he on a serious note, he feels good. Seems he's all right, and he enjoys riding this track. So I think he's desperate to race.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, we wish you good luck for tonight and good luck for the playoffs. I think you're one of the favourites. Would you say at the moment?
I think we're in with a shout.
Do you like that tag?
Doesn't bother me, to be honest. It doesn't bother me. I know we've came in on the bookies odds sort of thing, so they're no often wrong. But we just need to keep doing what we're doing. And I know it sounds boring. One at a time. See how far we can go.
Good luck. All the best for the rest of the season. Yeah, really good to get both of you there, the team managers, very honest. And you know, Peter reflecting on a great season. It's difficult when you don't make the playoffs because ultimately that's the target, that's the goal. And if you fall short, you know, it is, it's looked down on a little bit, but I think they can rightly be pleased in the way they've promoted the top side this year. They've given some superb speedway, and the entertainment factor has always been great here. And Stewart DICKSON doesn't mind that favourites tag. I think they've probably got that at the moment. They run such a rich vein of form. They'll be carrying that into the playoffs, and I don't think they'll fear anybody at the moment. So the two teams have been introduced to the crowd. The riders just putting in that 1 or 2 practice laps that they get, a couple of practice starts, a couple of laps of the track, quick look at the gates. Leicester did win the toss, but I'm not 100%, I couldn't quite hear what they took. But Leicester did win it, and we'll see when they roll around for Heat 1. We'll get our act together as quick as we can and see what they've taken. As we've experienced here all season long, yes, you know, gates are super important, but we found that this track can provide winners from every gate. And it does tend to change as the meeting goes on, but you know, not necessarily 2 to 4 and 1 to 3. So it's never an easy decision, but you just hope that whatever you pick and whatever Max Fricke picked for Leicester will work in their favour, and Oxford will hope that whatever they end up with does the business for them. So it's an exciting meeting. Obviously, pride is on the line for Oxford. They're going to want to end with a win, and Leicester, they're still driving to finish as high up the table as they possibly can. You know, they've already guaranteed that playoff spot. 2 other Premiership meetings this evening. Kings Lynn, they're going to host Sheffield. Kings Lynn have had a tough season, injuries, riders dropping out. They've got Ben Cook and Connor Mountain guesting for them this evening for Jankovic, who's got priorities in the Czech Republic, I think he's riding tonight. And obviously they were missing Tobias Muslak, disappeared earlier in the season. They've got Ben Cook and Connor Mountain. Sheffield will continue to run rider replacement for Ty Woffenden. The other meeting this evening is Ipswich versus Birmingham. And Ipswich has been ravaged with injuries of late. No Jason Doyle, no Adam Ellis, no Emil Saifutinov. Keenan Rue got injured as well. But they welcome Keenan Rue back into the team tonight, and they've also got Scott Nichols and Troy Batchelor guesting, and they're going to run a rider replacement for Emil Saifutinov. And they're up against Birmingham, who've had again another difficult season themselves in Kings Lynn. They occupy the other spots outside the playoffs with Oxford. And they bring in Antti Vulis for David Lampart. That's the older brother. And a rider replacement for Piotr Pawlicki, who decided he's not going to turn up for the last 2 meetings of the season. So there we have it. Scan to the pits. We can see the boys getting ready. Erik RISS there. A couple of minor adjustments to the clutch before he makes his way out for heat number 1. He's going to be joined by Rohan Tungate, returning to the side tonight. That's the 2 minutes from the referee. HUMPHREY-KENNETT is our referee this evening. Again, I spoke to Si earlier on and reminded him we're here, the cameras are here, the replays are here if he needs us. The referees are allowed to go. If there is footage at tracks, the referees can use that. And I was talking to Si, the referee, about the incidents we've had here at Oxford over the last few meetings, where we've had a couple of controversial ones that could have gone either way. So, you know, if there is a replay option available, The referees are allowed to take it, and I think it's good. There's so much on the line for these guys. It's good that they do that. So the riders coming around to tapes. Max Fricke's immediately pulled into gate number 4. So that will mean that they did choose 2 and 4 in heat number 1, which will give 1 and 3 to the home side. Just get the column right in my programme. So yeah, Max Fricke will be off of 4. Richard Lawson will find himself off of 2. Erik RISS will be off of 1, and Rohan TUNGATE. There we go, there it is. Erik RISS off the inside in blue for Oxford. Richard Lawson, he's going to be in yellow off gate number 2 for Leicester. Rohan TUNGATE in red off gate number 3 for Oxford. And Max Fricke white off gate number 4, captain of the Leicester Lions. Monarch Oxford, sponsors of heat number 1. Always a big heat number 1 here, and when we step up into the Premiership, 4 phenomenal riders in this heat. You've got riders that have appeared in Speedway Nations, on the podiums of national championships. So 4 fantastic riders. Race can go either way. Let's see if the gate choice will work in Leicester's favour, or whether it will be Oxford that indirectly won that toss. We shall see. We've got 15 seconds till tapes up. ROWE Motor Oil Premiership action. Leicester are secured in the playoffs. Oxford fighting for a bit of pride. Let's hope the boys can give us a fantastic meeting. Here we go with heat number 1. Tapes up and away we go. There's a good start from the Leicester Lions as they get into the first turn first. Richard Lawson on the inside. Yeah, around the outside comes Max Fricke down that back straight. But a big move from Rohan TUNGATE. Will he get the run around Richard Lawson? Yes, he does. Richard nice and wide, but can't close the gate on Rohan. Great move from him. Erik RISS at the back at the moment. Max Fricke out front. Rohan TUNGATE worked his way up into second place ahead of Richard Lawson, who sat in third. Not much between all 4 of them at the moment. As we end lap 2, Max Fricke looks comfortable out front. He's riding a nice sensible line mid-track. Rohan TUNGATE is on the pace. There's a little bit of a gap now back to Richard Lawson. And Erik RISS trying to charge down that back straight to gain a bit of ground on Richard Lawson. But with a lap to go, barring any mechanical failure or slip slide off, it looks like we are going to have a 4-2 to the away side. Max Fricke pretty much takes the flag. He takes the win for the away side. Rohan TUNGATE second for Oxford. Richard Lawson holds on to third. Erik RISS battling away as hard as he could at the back, but wasn't able to get up and challenge for that third place. So it is a 4-2 to the away side in that opening heat. Pretty much tapes the flag for Max Fricke. They were on a 5-1 for a little bit there before Rohan TUNGATE made the move and got himself around the outside on turn 4. So that would tell us that the gate choice was a good one. Here we go, Max Fricke with the win for Leicester. Second place, Rohan TUNGATE for Oxford. Third was Richard Lawson. Erik RISS at the back. 4-2 to the away side. Meaning after one heat, it is a 2-point advantage to the away side. Kennett, the referee, gets the 2 minutes on straight away. The reserves are out on track. There are 3 youngsters in this really, in Ashton BOUGHEN, Luke Killeen and Sam Hagon. And in Leicester, in Craig Cook at Leicester, they've got one of the most experienced riders at this level. And when you're moving into the playoffs with a rider like Craig Cook, that could make all the difference for them. Let's see how he gets on here. Like we said in the build-up, he did have a short period of time here earlier in the season as cover. Just an experienced rider, knows most tracks. Brings a wealth of experience. And he comes out on track now. Dale Wood there, Edinburgh rider on the spanners for Craig this evening. And BOUGHEN and Luke Killeen both at tapes already. They're all set. They're going to find themselves off 2 and 4 now that worked for Leicester in heat number 1. Clock's counting down, we've got 1 minute until the start of the heat. Sam Hagen now on track, so both the Leicester Lions will get there, no drama. So here we go, heat number 2, sponsored by Keith Cook Construction. Craig Cook, he's going to be off the inside in white for Leicester. Ashton BOUGHEN, gate 2 in red for Oxford. Sam Hagen had a great season. Sam, he's going to be in yellow off gate number 3. And Luke Killeen, who's made great strides for Oxford in all 3 divisions, he's going to be in blue off of gate number 4. Had a fantastic meeting here last weekend. Only dropped 1 point against Glasgow. Against Leicester, sorry, for the Chargers. The Leicester Lion Cubs, they walked away with that victory and the National League title here on Sunday over the Chargers. Okay, heat number 2. Oh, movement from Ashton BOUGHEN. That I think will come back because I think he touched him. He might have got away with that a little bit. Yes, he hasn't. I'll tell you what, Luke Killeen's taken full advantage of that. He's got himself round the outside of Craig Cook into the lead. Ashton BOUGHEN sat in 3rd as we finish lap 1. Luke Killeen, great first 2 turns from him to get himself out front. But he's done a full 360 there. It's caused Craig Cook to come down. Craig Cook looks in a lot of discomfort. That's a shame for all concerned. Luke Killeen was out front. And Craig Cook does look in a bit of discomfort there up against the fence. In a bit of pain. Yeah, Luke locked up. And that caused Craig Cook to straighten up to miss him. And that is what caused Craig Cook to come to grief. So yeah, I think the right decision is going to see Luke Killeen excluded. No dramas with that one. We just hope that Craig Cook is okay. He did well to take avoiding action there to go around the outside and miss the back wheel of Luke Killeen, who did a full 360. As he spun around there, you can see Luke just walking back off a track. Quick wheel with Peter Schroeck. There's myself watching the telly, watching me, watching you, watching me, watching you. So yeah, Craig Cook's down, so our thoughts with him at the moment. We hope he's okay. A couple of the Oxford riders with him as well. You can see Chris Harris over there with Craig Cook as well, which is always good to see. So it'll just take us a few minutes to sort this one out. We obviously don't show you any replays until we know that Craig Cook is okay. That is the most important thing at this moment in time. You can hear a lot of jeers and cheers from downstairs on the home straight from the fans. I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, Luke Killeen will find himself excluded. There's my vantage point. That's the view that I've got. So we're going to see, yeah, the blue light's on. No debate there that Luke Killeen will get excluded. Stewart DICKSON's going to be hoping that Craig Cook is okay, because that could be a big blow for them if that is indeed the case. We're just going to keep the camera off of Craig until we know that he's up and walking back to the pits. As long as all are okay, we can bring you a replay in due course. The riders genuinely don't mind if their replays are shown, as long as they're up and fine and walking back. Most actually asked to see the replays at some point if they're not shown. Had a couple of incidents with BSM where the rider contacted us and said, look, have you got the crash? Can I have a look? No fear factor there for my riders, we know that. Not sure what the boos and the jeers are for. There's plenty of them. I'll tell you what it is, because Greg Blair's on the microphone in the centre green, that could do it. Nice round of applause there for Craig. He is up on his feet, and you can see it on screen. 1 minute's with him. That's his dad there with his back to us. On the left part of the course. So here we can see it again. Just keep an eye on blue. Luke Killeen. He's the man. Yeah, he's locked up there, and Craig has had to spin around to come off the back end. Luke went all the way round. You can see Craig already there holding his wrist. Forearm and wrist seems to be the thing there. We can see his arm in the air with the paramedics. So yeah, Luke just went a little bit hot, lost the back end, span round, and Craig had to essentially do the same thing to avoid full contact. So yeah, a little bit discomfort there, Craig. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Not the way that he wanted his meeting to start or end, potentially. And it could be a big ask on Sam Hagon. Yeah, let's just watch again. Keep an eye on this, the front two reel, isn't it? Luke Killeen just as we come back to him, he's already got the back end up there and he's sliding across the corner. Does a full 360 in the end, but it's Craig Cook that has to essentially do the same thing to avoid making full contact with the back end of Luke's bike. And he's holding his ribs, right arm there. He's looking in a bit of pain. So we hope he's okay. We don't want to see any rider. We want to see 7 on 7. We don't want to see anybody drop out of this meeting. First time in a long time I've commed on a meeting where we've got the full 14, 2 sides at full strength. Let's hope that hasn't just put the kibosh on that one. So Sam Masters thinks of it all. As he checks on Craig Cook. But if that is Craig out, it's going to be a lot of pressure on young Sam Hagon. But it's a track Sam's ridden a few times. He's been here in the National League. So he has been here this season already. So there, just across the bottom of the screen, you can see all our links: Oxford Speedway, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Keep up to tabs on the Chargers, the Spires, the Cheetahs. The 3 sides this season has been a big success. Keep up to tab with news and developments. And obviously the Chargers have just fallen short, coming second in the National League. The Spires have just missed out on those playoffs. They're going to finish in 5th position. And it's the Cheetahs that are going to hold that candle for a championship as they keep fighting in the playoffs. In the championships. There's Luke Killeen. He's going to be disappointed with himself because he rode a great first. I actually thought that Ashton BOUGHEN touched the tapes. Potentially. I'm not sure if we can get that back or not. If we can, we'll have it. I thought he actually touched him. And that is what caused me to concentrate more on that than what was going on in the first turn. Here we go. You can see it from the start. There is Ashton BOUGHEN in red. Just keep an eye on Ashton. Off of gate number 2. He definitely rolls. He definitely has a bit of movement. Yeah, I think he touched the bottom of the tapes there, so kind of got away with that one a little bit. Because that would have seen the race restart, which, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. That would have been an advantage to everybody if the race was restarted. He may have picked up a warning for that. If the referee spotted it but decided to let it go. Here's our upcoming testimonial man, Richard Lawson. A great servant to clubs up and down the country, Richard. I think I worked it out that he's had 12 or 13 British clubs in his career. He's been on track for many years. And yeah, gets a deserved testimonial at Poole this weekend, I believe. There's Ryan Douglas. You can just see that bandage around his wrist there. He's got a nasty burn on his arm. Looks like Stewart DICKSON said in the interview, the riders are quite happy to post these things out. That's Fricke's mechanics, busy guys at the GPs with him as well. Everyone knows at the Oxford end of the pits. So Ashton BOUGHEN, he's definitely going to be in this one, as is Sam Hagon. We're waiting to see if Craig Cook will be joining. Killeen's definitely excluded. Dugard there on the right. Helps Sam. Famously won that Grand Prix at Coventry back in the day. Did no practice, turned up. That was when the Grand Prix was at Coventry for a year. And after Hackney, yeah, Hackney for a couple of years. But a great rider, Martin Dugard, in his day. Yeah, Luke Becker on screen. Stewart DICKSON heaped a lot of praise on Luke, you know, and just said that his form seemed to be a catalyst for their season really turning an upturn, because he was phenomenal in the Speedway Nations. He went up there as nicely as a guest of the Team America, because they've got a Staver Accountancy sponsor the American team, and they sponsor my son and his karting, so we got invited up there, which was really nice. Spent the day with the American team, well looked after. It was great to see Luke riding excellent that day. He just didn't have the strength behind him to push for a place in the final, but yeah, his form seems to have really taken an upturn with the whole of the Leicester team. Stewart DICKSON picking up on that. So yeah, we're just having a delay, potentially just while we see what's going on with Craig Cook. And you can see the steel shoe of Ashton BOUGHEN. I'm probably preaching to the converted with a lot of you. A lot of you know the drill. You've got to have that steel shoe on. We've seen it come off a few times down the years, and riders struggle to stay upright. I think Vinnie Joe Ford was one at Poole earlier in the season. When his steel shoe came off, he managed to rodeo the bike around and keep going. I think he came off eventually on the last turn. And it's a huge difference when you don't have that steel shoe on. All the boys will be wearing that. So yeah, just a bit of a delay while we wait for Craig Cook, I think. See what's going to happen with him. A delay that we didn't particularly want or need. But it does happen, nature of the beast. We've got the other two meetings this evening. Killeen against Sheffield, which is on British Speedway Network tonight. And Ipswich hosting Birmingham, who again have only got pride. They haven't won an away meeting all season, Birmingham, so they'll be hoping they can go to a really injury-ravaged Ipswich, although they have brought in strong guests tonight. And Birmingham will be hoping to get something out of the season with a win there. Freddie Lindgren won heat one. There's only one heat gone at Ipswich, and it was a 3-3. Freddie Lindgren with the win. Scott Nichols and Dan Thompson second and third, packing in for Ipswich. At Kings Lynn, they've had a couple of heats up there, and it's 8-4 at the moment to the home side over Sheffield Kings Lynn. Benjamin Basso with a win in his first one. Niels Christian Everson with a win. Sorry, yeah, Niels Christian Everson was in for Ben, rider replacement for Ben Basso there. He won that first one, and a 5-1 time as well in Louis Kerr. So going well at the minute, Kings Lynn. Just while we've got our hold up here, Greg Blair is just giving some information to the crowd. Hopefully we'll be moving again soon. Get the riders back on track, back rolling. Ashton BOUGHEN still on his bike. Sam Hagen getting on his bike. That's a positive sign. There's the transponder, you can see. So that's what gives us our timings nowadays. It used to be a timekeeper next to the referee with a stopwatch. We do still do that as well, but it's the transponder now that gives us the heat times. It has been questioned how effective that is. A couple of question marks over a couple of different times that we've seen this season, but you've got to try and move with the times. And transponders are the way to go to get exact heat times. So we'll just keep roving in the pits for a moment. See if we can see any action from. There's Craig Cook. Looks like he's putting his steel shoe on. Yeah, he is indeed. Fantastic to see. Steel shoe going back on. That means we are going to see Craig Cook, the referee, rightly giving him enough time to get ready after that incident. It wasn't his fault. So Ashton BOUGHEN's going to be up against it, up against the two LEICESTER Lions in this reserves race. Tough when this happens so early. Well, tough when this happens any time, but especially early in the meeting when everyone's got themselves set, riders have built themselves up. You know your heat's coming in a couple of minutes time, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got a 10-15 minute delay. The bike goes cold, you go cold. That's when it's important to stay focused. A lot of riders stick headphones on and listen to music. You see a lot of them scrolling social media as well. There's Dale Wood, Craig's bike. Just into the front wheel. I'm not sure whether that's, yeah, it looks like that was the bike he used in that first heat. So Sam Hagen looks like he's going to be on the go, which means we could potentially be on the go, surely. Thank you for your patience there while we had a bit of a gap. Just to keep you up to speed, another 4-2 for Kings Lynn. They're 12-6 up now against Sheffield, which is great going. We've had all the heat winners. Ben Cook, Guestin, Niels Christian Everson, Anders Rowe with 3 wins for them. It's a good start for them. Lower their colours, and again just finish their season on a high. They've still got Leicester home and away, Kings Lynn, so they've got a couple more meetings to ride, and they've hit a bit of form. They've won the last couple of meetings and they're looking pretty good at the moment. And look at Ipswich entertaining Birmingham. Yep, still just the one heat gone there. So we are a minute and a half away now pretty much from the restaging of heat number 2. Is an exclusion for Luke Killeen as the cause of the stoppage. There's some extended time there just for Craig Cook. Sam Hagan blasts his way around to the tapes. I can see Craig Cook with his helmet on in the pits. Ashton BOUGHEN is going to find himself off of gate 2. He can't swap to gate 4. When your teammate's excluded, you've got to stick with the same gate. You can't move. And it was off of gate 4 that Max Fricke won the first heat. And Luke Killeen looked like he was going to do the same thing. That's obviously a positive gate to be on. Here comes Craig now. Thankfully, no serious injury, which is good because when I initially looked at him when he came off, he was writhing in agony. You could see that, something really uncomfortable, wrist, shoulder, ribs down that right hand side. So here we go. The boys are coming back up to tapes. Got about 45 seconds. Craig Cook back off the inside in white for Leicester. Ashton BOUGHEN, the sole representative for the Spires. He'll be in red off of gate number 2, and Sam Hagan, he will be in yellow off of gate number 3. No rider off of 4, 3 riders only. Keith Cook Construction, sponsors of heat number 2. So it does give the rider off gate 3, in this case Sam Hagan, the opportunity to ride a little bit unchallenged into the first turn. Potentially more beneficial later on in the meeting when there's a bit more of a dirt line on the outside. Early on, potentially you're looking to make the gate and get over the top of the rider on your inside. So here we go, restaging of heat number 2. Craig Cook has made a blinder off of 1. Injury, what injury? Great start from Craig Cook. Ashton BOUGHEN just rides a nice tight line. Will he come underneath Sam Hagan? Yes, he does. He just pushes it up the inside of Sam Hagan, coming into turn number 3 for the first time. But Sam Hagan's driving around the outside. Ashton BOUGHEN just putting the back wheel there, just put Sam Hagan off a little bit. But Craig Cook finds himself out front. Bounced back from that fall in his last one in the first staging of this heat. He's out front. Ashton BOUGHEN in second. Sam Hagan in third. Sam just drifting away a tiny bit, whereas Ashton BOUGHEN just seems to be putting Craig Cook under a little bit of pressure. But Craig looks in control. As we come around turns 3 and 4 into the last lap. Ashton BOUGHEN, fair play, he's on the back wheel of Craig Cook. Craig knows he can't make any mistakes there or get anything wrong because Ashton is in a position to pounce. But you just feel that Craig does have the speed, he's in control of the heat, but Ashton BOUGHEN's going to give it one last blast. He's gone all the way deep round turns 4. Craig Cook moves over and shuts that door. And there's no way through for Ashton BOUGHEN, but he kept pushing the whole heat, couldn't have done much more on his own there against an excellent reserve in Craig Cook. So it's another 4-2. So 4 points to 8, the progressive score. And a good win for Craig Cook, bouncing back from that fall in the first staging of that heat. So winner, gate number 1. So Craig Cook with the win for Leicester. Second place Ashton BOUGHEN for Oxford. Sam Hagan third, unchallenged, nobody in fourth. Luke Killeen sat watching that one in the pit. So it's another 4-2 to the away side, second on the trot. That makes the progressive 4 points to 8. And you can see there as well, 41-61 is the aggregate score. Leicester will think they've got that in the tank, in the locker already. Oxford going to have to push hard to get that aggregate. And we've seen here this season, we've had so many last heat deciders. It's potentially been their Achilles heel that everyone likes coming here and riding. So we're straight on with heat number 3. No messing around from Cy Kennett, our referee. He's moved it swiftly on. We're going to see Chris Harris, Charles Wright, Sam Masters, Luke Becker. Excellent heat. What I always call the engine room of the sides, 3 and 4. Charles Wright in blue, he's going to find himself off on the inside. Sam Masters white, gate number 2 for Leicester. Chris Harris red, gate number 3. And Luke Becker in fine form, he's going to be in yellow off of the outside for Leicester. So a winner off of gate 1 and a winner off of gate 4. Charles Wright and Luke Becker find themselves in those spots for this heat. Liquid Screed, sponsors of heat number 3. And again, just the strength of the sides. Any of these 3 could be heat leaders and, you know, number 1s for their side really. So it does show the strength that these 2 teams have got. We've seen Chris Harris from the tapes win. We've seen Chris Harris from the back win this season. You kind of know that every heat that Chris is in, he's going to give you something to shout and cheer about and something to watch. And he's up against cheater for this season, Sam Masters. in the championship. He'll be off gate number 2. Knows this track very well. He's ridden it as much as anybody. And Charles Wright, who's been in brilliant form at home here, he's off of the inside in blue. So we are heat number 3. We're 4 points to 8 over the Leicester Lions at the moment. Heat number 3 takes up and away we go. And it's an even break up into the first turn, but Luke Becker's got all the way over off of gate 4. Wonderful start from him. Charles Wright finds himself in second. Sam Masters third, and at the moment Chris Harris at the back. But Charles Wright's gone in a little bit hot. He's recovered and got back around the outside of Sam Masters. But Sam Masters is putting Charles Wright under all manner of pressure. And is he going to move out and shut the door on him? Yeah, he does. He's up the inside. Leicester move into a 5-1. Luke Becker out front, looking fast, looking comfortable. Sam Masters worked really hard there to get in front of Charles Wright and did it, shut the door on him. Coming out of the turn 2 down that back straight, and they're starting to pull away. Chris Harris has got no answers at the back at this moment in time, and with a lap to go, this doesn't look good for the home side. Luke Becker out front, Sam Masters second, Charles Wright third, Chris Harris tailed off a tiny bit now at the back. Chris, he'll make a couple of changes I'm sure. That's a big 5-1 for the away side. They've dominated that heat with Luke Becker. He takes the win. Sam Masters had to work hard, but he worked hard and got himself up into second place. Over the top of Charles Wright, slammed the door on him in a nice way, coming down that back straight. And there's already a gap growing here. Leicester on such good form at the moment. Every one of their riders is riding well. Such belief and confidence. But Luke Becker made a phenomenal gate there off the outside, got himself over the top of all 3 of them. There we go, Luke Becker with a win, Sam Masters second, big 5-1 for the away side. Charles Wright took the 3rd place position, so it is a 1-5. It's 5 points to 13 after 3 heats, and work to be done here for the Spires. They're going to start eating their way back into this scoreline. So here we can see it from the start. Keep an eye on yellow. Luke Becker off the outside makes a great start, gets over the top of Chris Harris, who missed the gate in that one. And you can see Luke there leaning in over the top of Charles Wright, and he just gets that run around the outside. I thought Sam Masters was going to come up the inside of Charles as well, but Charles held it there, just went a bit hot, a bit deep, but recovered. You can already see Sam Masters buzzing all over the back, and this is where he comes up the inside. He moved across to kiss the base of the fence, and that shut the door on Charles Wright, and he had no answer. Big 5-1, 3 heat advantages in the first 3 heats. Granted, if Luke Killeen hadn't come to grief in heat number 2, it might have been a different story. But such is Speedway, these things happen. And end up being a 4-2 in that one as well. So we will move on to heat number 4. There's Luke Killeen back out again. If he can make a gate like he made before, and it's uncharacteristic, because I've seen Luke make gates all season, you know, especially for the Chargers, and then just ride smooth, ride nice, ride neat, and take victories. So just one of those incidents in that last one. So we've got a minute. We're still waiting for Maciej JANOWSKI. And we are waiting for Sam Hagen. There's Sam now. He's got plenty of time. He's got 50 seconds to get up to tapes, where Ryan Douglas and Luke Killeen already are. So we're going to see a couple of big hitters in this one, in Ryan Douglas and Maciej JANOWSKI. Sam Hagen out for his second ride. Had an unchallenged 3rd place in that first running of heat number 2. So yeah, Luke Killeen, he'll find himself off the inside in blue. Sam Hagen yellow off of gate number 2. First outing for Maciej JANOWSKI in red off of gate number 3. In fine form, as is Ryan Douglas, who's going to be in white off of the outside for Leicester. So the 2 guys on the outside are in fantastic form at this present time. Both in those heat leader positions in strong teams. Shows you how well they're riding and they're scoring. And we've got 2 of the upcoming riders in the sport, in Luke Killeen and Sam Hagen off of the inside 2 gates. So Nuffield Health, sponsors of heat number 4. Let's see what this is. Sometimes this will develop into 2 separate heats. Let's see what this one brings. Green light on, takes up and away we go. It's a good start off the inside from Luke Killeen, but Ryan Douglas made that gate off for 4, and he's got round the outside of Luke Killeen into first place. Maciej JANOWSKI goes in deep into turns 3 and 4. He'll get the speed coming off the turn. He's chasing down Ryan Douglas. Luke Killeen comfortable in 3rd at this moment in time. Maciej JANOWSKI looks to cut up the inside. Ryan Douglas coming down the back straight, but Ryan Douglas tucks back in and rides that curb and just holds that line and holds that position. Oh, Sam Hagen's just come down at the back. Will he get the bike off the track in time? He wants to, because Ryan Douglas is out front. And the referee's letting it go. Yeah, well done Sam Hagen, he's got the bike off the track. Well done to the referee for seeing that one through as well. But a lap to go. Ryan Douglas has got Maciej JANOWSKI all over him here. It's going to be a big last lap. Maciej just looking to ride a different line to Ryan. He's going to go in a little bit deeper and try and get that run around the boards, but Ryan's moved out there as well. Ryan Douglas will hold it. Victory for him. Another win for the Leicester Lions, but the Spires packing in to second and third with Maciej JANOWSKI, who tried everything to be fair, just could not get up on Ryan Douglas. Very fast when he's out front, Ryan Douglas. But they do just stem that flow of results against them. And it keeps it at an 8-point gap. So Sam Hagen just coming to grief in that one, but thankfully and brilliantly he got himself up, got the bike off the track. So there we are, Ryan Douglas with the win for Leicester. Maciej JANOWSKI worked hard in second but just couldn't get up onto Ryan Douglas's back wheel to challenge. Luke Killeen unchallenged for the third place, and Sam Hagen just took a tumble. Thankfully he's okay, he's walking back. So a 3-3 scoreline, 8 points to 16 after 4 heats, so a bigger gap than they would have wanted, Oxford, but Leicester will certainly take that at this stage. So where we can see it from the start again, Ryan Douglas pretty much not as emphatic as Luke Becker in the heat before, but he makes a great gate off of 4, gets over the top of everyone, rides that fast line down the back straight, and then Maciej JANOWSKI moves up around Luke Killeen here. Just locked up across the corner a tiny bit there, Luke. You can see Maciej, he's all over the back of Ryan, and he was for the 4 laps really. He's trying different lines, looking up the inside. Never really put a big move in. You might just see Sam Hagen there, just come to grief at the back. Yeah, just locked up a tiny bit coming in, but did brilliantly to get himself up, get himself off, so that the race could be completed. There's some gate stats, yeah. Tail of the total, a win off of gate 1 and 3 off of the outside at the minute. But points spread across all 4 gates. Again, the majority coming off of 4 because of those race winners. But yeah, points can be picked up everywhere at the moment. And now, as we can see on screen, we're going to get Greg Blair, who's managed to catch up with Craig Cook.
So I'm down in the pits and I'm joined with Craig Cook at the moment. Craig, you took a bit of a tumble in that first one, but everything all right?
Yeah, I was just winded. I thought maybe I'd broken my ribs or something there, but yeah, luckily pain wore off and got my breath, got myself together. But it's difficult, you know. You take a tumble like that, a high-speed tumble, and you know you always panic and think the worst, you know, full of adrenaline. So, but I calmed down, got my breath back, and managed to get out there and do the business.
You did that, and Oxford, you're flying around here. Is this a place that you enjoy coming to anyway?
I do enjoy it, you know, but it's very difficult to get us out because it seems the track seems to be different every time I come. But the track's probably one of the best I've seen it, you know, this year. I must have been here at least 10 times this year, but yeah, the track looks good tonight. It looks like Jim's done a good job.
Well, thanks very much for speaking to us, Cookie. We'll let you get back to the pits, and glad to hear that you're all right. So there we have it. We'll get further up into the pits and we'll see who else we can find. So we are just into the pits at the minute. We could maybe go and grab a quick word with Luke Killeen. I'll see if he'll... he needs his hat because his hair is horrendous. We'll just... yeah, come over here. Have you got a hat? You've got a hat. So we are back in the pits again, and we're chatting to Luke Killeen. Luke, you had a bit of a spin around in that first one, but you were shaking the head. Was that shaking the head at the ref's decision or shaking the head at yourself?
I was shaking the head at myself, you know, my head at myself, because, you know, like I got fired into that corner because the starts are quite grippy when you run in. And then there was just not much there, you know, and it's quite frustrating. You know, I did everything I could trying to, you know, kill the revs off, and it felt like it nearly stalled, but it was still spinning around on me.
It was a great first ride for you, and you know, work going on the bike just now, but you're going to be going back out there and hunting for some more points. Yeah,
that's it. You know, hopefully I can make a start like that again. You know, probably one of the best starts I've ever made, so you know, I was happy with that. But I don't know, just got to piece the rest of the puzzle together now. Exactly that.
Well, we'll let you get back to that, Luke. Thanks very much for speaking to us. Cheers. So there we go, Luke Killeen just getting that bike sorted out. It's a very young pit crew in there. I don't think any of them have made 20 yet. They're all a young lot. We've got Senna there, and we've got his brother Declan. But getting everything sorted out. You can see they got 2 clutch coolers on at the moment. They got one on the engine because it is quite warm here tonight, and they also have one on the obvious side, on the clutch side as well. So that's just getting that nice and cool and making sure that it's not going to get too hot. You don't get any drag at the start line, because if you hold that in for too long, it can cause a bit of damage. But it's great to see that he's managed to pick himself up. All the riders have kind of picked themselves up after the accidents that they've had tonight. So we'll hopefully not see any more of them as the night progresses. But we see Chris Bomber-Harris there. He's getting ready to get himself out for the next heat. He'll be wanting to go out there and make better of what he did in the first one, because it doesn't like running last at all. But it looks to me like the tractors are getting back in, so we can head back up to Lee Kilby, who is your commentator for tonight.
So really good to have Greg that side of the pits for us tonight. He's actually working centre green tonight here at Oxford. And we just tapped him up earlier and said, look, if we get you a mic, are you happy to get us a couple of interviews, which he agreed to, which is terrific. So thank you to Greg for that. Hopefully we'll get a couple more as the night goes on. Really good to get Craig Cook in there. And Luke Killeen, the 2 men involved in the incident that we had in heat number 2. Thankfully, both okay, both good. Craig Cook, very good, coming back out and winning that restaging of heat number 2, and look, pretty dominant in it really. We'll see Craig out again in heat number 6. So just a little bit of work going on for all the riders, whether it's a gear change or just a spin of the tread on a tyre, one of the two. Leicester pretty relaxed, as you can imagine. Leicester pretty relaxed, on great form. They're just riding so well, and when you're on that crest of a wave, everything you do just comes off. You're winning as a team, and when your teammates are going out and winning, it takes the pressure off of you a little bit, so you ride with a bit more freedom. That's the sign of a good side, and I think Ipswich, Sheffield and Bellevue will be looking over their shoulders, because Leicester are hitting form at the right time. Somebody always does. You always get to this part of the season and a team really dial in, find their feet, and that appears to be Leicester. But you know, there's a long way to go in this one yet. Hopefully Oxford can turn it around, get a couple of heat advantages on the board. They've certainly got the riders to do it. And you consider we've got Chris Harris and Charles Wright out in this one, but they are up against Max Fricke and Richard Lawson. So some brilliant riders and heats we've got coming up for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in and watching with us tonight. I know there's other options. As always, getting down to track. Big hello to Marie and Wayne, my friends in Swindon, watching tonight. Keeping tabs on their second side. We can call it their second team. The Oxford Spires, Cheetahs Chargers. Nice to see you guys. Cole's enjoying it. I can see a nice picture of him there watching the screen. Hopefully my voice isn't going through him too much. So you see Max Fricke on track. Winner first time out. Looked dominant in that first heat. He trapped off of gate 4, as has Luke Becker and Ryan Douglas. We've had 3 winners there. So he's going to find himself off gate 3, where we haven't had a winner as yet. Interesting to see what Max Fricke can do for there. So referee has got the 2 minutes on. Riders have been called round to tapes on heat number 5. And it is a big heat 5, you know. Chris Harris, Charles Wright, Max Fricke, Richard Lawson. That's a great lineup. That's a heat 15 any day, really. All 4 of those riders got the ability to be number 1s in their team. There we go, 1:30 and counting as the riders come round. So Richard Lawson, he's going to find himself off the inside in yellow. Chris Harris failed to score first time out. He's going to be in red off the gate number 2. He's going to want to put that right. Max Fricke, winner first time out, white off gate 3. And Charles Wright, blue. Got done by Sam Masters a little bit in his first one. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 4. So Charles was on the pace, but Sam Masters just put that move on him in heat number 3. You know, sometimes when a rider just gets on that line and you're not on it, and they've got that run around you, it's impossible to stop it sometimes. So heat number 5, 10 Tools are sponsors of heat number 5. All 4 riders currently off the bar. Bomber's back on. All 4 of them off doing a bit of gardening. Chris missed the trap first time out, and he has been gating really well this season. Chris Harris at times, whether it's BSN or just me on a jolly watching a meeting, I always say to Chris, please miss the gate, because I do like it when you come from the back. He'd much rather, as they'd all much rather, make the gate and go. So we are on 8:16, big gap already for the away side. Oxford are going to want to hit back here. Heat number 5. So 10 seconds and counting. Riders up to tapes. Green light comes on. And away we go. And it is a good start off the outside from Charles Wright. As has been in the other heats, he's going to get the run around the outside. There he goes. Just caught Richard Lawson locking up a tiny bit, but Max Frick's moved up into second. Keep an eye on Chris Harris. Will he come up the inside of Richard Lawson? Yes, he does. Richard might get that run round the outside. He has. He's hit back straight away, Richard Lawson. But Charles Wright finds himself out front, looking fast. Max Frick in second. Chris Harris goes big again. He's chasing down Richard Lawson. He is not going to want 2 last places from his first 2 rides, Chris Harris, that is for sure. Looks to do a different turn 2 there with a bit of a cutback up the inside. But with a lap to go, it is Charles Wright out front. Max Frick's on his tail. Richard Lawson and Chris Harris, that's potentially the battle for the last lap. Can Chris Harris get up to challenge Richard Lawson? Or are we going to see another 3-3? Charles Wright has been pretty comfortable in this one. Hit back with a win for Charles Wright. Max Frick's going to take second and Richard Lawson's going to take third. Chris Harris working his socks off there. Early on in the heat, looked like he might be able to get up alongside Richard Lawson. But Richard rode really well, maintained that position. And 11.19, the away side maintained that gap. 2 last places for Chris. Not going to be happy with that, that's for sure. Positive for Charles Wright though, he adds a win to his 3rd place first time out. Lowers the colours of Max Frick. And 2 3rd places so far for Richard Lawson. So there we go, Charles Wright with the win for Oxford. 2nd place Max Frick. 3rd place Richard Lawson. The 2 Leicester boys packing in for the minor placings to give us a 3-3 scoreline. Chris Harris at the back, so 11.19 the progressive. And if you're keeping tabs, a 24-point gap on the aggregate. So that's a huge ask for Oxford, but they're just going to want to get a win here tonight. Charles Wright did it. For a moment there, it looked like Richard Lawson might just be able to move out and shut the door on Charles Wright. But he had such power there coming down the back straight. And Max Frick just followed him through ahead of his teammate. And just here again, Chris Harris looks like he might just get the run up the inside, but that outside's working really well at the moment on turns 1 and 2. If you're out there and you get the run off of 2 down that back straight, and Richard Lawson was already a couple of bike lengths ahead. There's Maciej, our referee for this evening. He's had a call to make in heat number 2, but it's a pretty straightforward call. And he could have banged the red lights on when Sam Hagen come down, but he let the race do its course. A couple of things to do for the ref, but nothing major. As we move into heat number 6, the Real Mini Company are sponsors of heat number 6. And we are going to see Rohan TUNGATE off the inside in red, 2 points first time out. Ryan Douglas, winner, first time out for Leicester. He's in white off of gate number 2. Erik RISS failed to score in his first outing. He's going to be in blue off of gate number 3. And Craig Cook thankfully bounced back from that fall he had in his first ride and then won the rerun. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 4. So yep, the Real Mini Company there, sponsors of this heat, number 6. Gate 4's the place to be at the moment. Craig Cook finds himself out there again, and yes, he's a reserve, but he's good enough to be in the main body of any of the sides in the top division. So they've got a real trump card there in Craig Cook. Stewart DICKSON was breathing a big sigh of relief when he got up from that fall. So 11.19. 3 heat advantages on the spin to open the meeting for Leicester, and then a couple of 3-3s in the last couple of heats. That has just stemmed that flow a tiny bit. It just sees Oxford holding on to the coattails of Leicester. So heat number 6, 15 seconds and counting. Craig Cook, the last one to come up to tapes. He's there now. Rohan TUNGATE, Erik RISS, Ryan Douglas, Craig Cook. Tapes up and away we go on heat number 6. A good gate off the inside from Rohan TUNGATE. He will move Ryan Douglas over, and that's given Erik RISS the chance to come up the inside. A congested back straight as they come down for the first time. Rohan TUNGATE out front, Erik RISS in second, moves out to shut off the run of Craig Cook. And at the moment, it's a big 5-1 back for the Oxford Spires. Ryan Douglas moves ahead of Craig Cook into 3rd place, looking to get up and challenge Erik RISS, but a great start from Rohan TUNGATE. He was really busy coming down that back straight for the first time. It's just settled down now. TUNGATE out front, Erik RISS second, Ryan Douglas looks quick in 3rd. Can he find the line to get up and challenge Erik RISS? Craig Cook has just slowed down and pulled in at the back. He won't finish the heat out, but keep an eye on Ryan Douglas here with a lap to go. Him challenging Erik RISS is where this race will change if it's gonna. He's gone big into turn 2 to try and make a nice long back straight. He's going to carry more speed. Will he see it round the outside of Erik RISS? He's going to have a go. Erik keeps an eye and holds on to second place, and a 5-1 to the home side. Busy heat, that one, but a great one for the home side. They hit back with a 5-1. Try as he might, Ryan Douglas couldn't get up, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point gap. It's the way it goes. One heat and you're back in the mix. Such a great top two in Erik RISS and Rohan TUNGATE. You know they can produce that, and they proved it right there. Win for Rohan TUNGATE, second for Erik RISS, third was Ryan Douglas. Craig Cook pulled in, didn't finish the heat through. A DNF for him, so a 5-1 to the home team. That reduces the 8 points to 4, 16 to 20 now for Leicester. But a positive heat, that one for the home side. And another winner off of gate number 1. Here we can see it from the start. So it was a busy first turn. Different angle from the start. That's quite nice. We can see pretty even break from all of them. And Leicester look like they're in the ascendancy there, but Rohan TUNGATE just moves across the front of Ryan Douglas. That stops his run. Craig Cook does have a look here down the outside, but watch Erik RISS. He just moves over onto that line, and that shuts the door on Craig Cook. And from there, it was pretty much done and dusted. Ryan Douglas came up the inside of Craig Cook, which pretty much ended Craig's race, and then looked set to chase down Erik RISS, but he couldn't get up. And a big 5-1 for the home team. So we move into heat number 7. There's Ashton BOUGHEN on the left of your screen. Luke Becker on the inside of him in yellow. So 1 and 4. That's where the heat wins are coming from at the moment. Nothing off of 2 and 3 as yet. But with Maciej JANOWSKI and Luke Becker off of 2 and 3, anything is possible. Just over a minute. We're just waiting for Maciej JANOWSKI. There he comes. Okay, so off the inside in white will be Sam Masters. Next to him will be Maciej JANOWSKI in red. Luke Becker yellow off of gate number 3. And Ashton BOUGHEN blue off of gate number 4. Everybody got points on the board here. Henley & Son Leadwork Specialists are our sponsors of heat number 7. Just the 4-point gap now. Can Oxford hit back again and get themselves level with a 5-1, or at least eat into that 4 points with a 4-2? We shall see. 4 winners off of gate 4 so far, and 2 winners off of gate 1. So, big heat here. Maciej JANOWSKI, Ashton BOUGHEN, Sam Masters, Luke Becker. Such a powerhouse pairing, Sam Masters and Luke Becker. But we've seen Ashton BOUGHEN bounce out the trap this season. He's lowered the colours of some fantastic riders, Jason Doyle at Ipswich being one of them. So we know what he's capable of, and he has got that gate 4. Green light on. Tapes go up and away we go, and it looks like Ashton's made a good one. If he can get his back wheel around that fence, he's done it. No, Luke Becker shuts the door on him, but Maciej JANOWSKI comes up the inside of Luke Becker. Luke Becker really put pay to Ashton BOUGHEN there, but keep an eye on Maciej. He's worked his way up into second place, and he's set sail here for Sam Masters. Sam's got a wider line than Maciej. Maciej's keeping it tighter, coming up the inside of him. It's a 4-2 at the moment to the away side. Sam Masters out front. Maciej JANOWSKI in second, Luke Becker in third. Pretty tight with the front 3 at the moment. Ashton BOUGHEN's just drifted away a little bit, but Luke Becker's shut the door on him, coming out of turn 2 and ended his heat. I tell you what, Luke Becker's putting Maciej under pressure here. Maciej's riding the outside line, Luke's riding a line, quick line up the inside as we go into the last lap. Just keep an eye on Luke Becker. He's worked that across the corner to get a longer back straight. Will he be able to get up over the top? I don't think so. I think Maciej's going to hold on. Yeah, so win for Sam Masters. Maciej JANOWSKI in second, Luke Becker third, and Ashton BOUGHEN, who had a big move put on him by Luke Becker. Strong but fair. That put pay to his heat coming off of turn number 2. Didn't do anything wrong, just one of those races. So it is another heat advantage to the away side, and they do just extend that back to 6 points. Another second place for Maciej JANOWSKI. That's 2 from 2 second places for him. There we go. Sam Masters with a win for Leicester. Maciej JANOWSKI second for Oxford. Luke Becker third for the away side. And Ashton BOUGHEN kept going, battled away, but just couldn't get up in amongst the points. So it was a 2-4 for Leicester in that one. 18-24 the progressive. And they're riding well the away side, hitting straight back after that 5-1 to the home team. Here we can see it from the start. Luke Becker made a good gate off of 3, and that is essentially what was the difference with Ashton BOUGHEN in that heat compared to the other boys. Watch Luke, he just goes a bit deeper into the corner there, and that just affects his run around, and yeah, nothing he could have done there. Luke Becker closed the door on Ashton BOUGHEN. Means he had to lose all the speed, knock it right off the throttle, and that dropped him back. And then Maciej JANOWSKI was all about the chase for Sam Masters. Looked close there for a lap or so, but someone like Sam Masters out front, super quick. You know what he can produce when he's out there. It's going to be very hard to pass. But Maciej JANOWSKI didn't give up. In the same vein that Luke Becker didn't give up either. A couple of times you can see the difference there, 2 or 3 bike lengths between Luke Becker. 3 off of gate 1, 4 off of gate 4. That's where the wins are coming from. Points across the board though, you can see 12 from the inside outside, 10 and 8 from the middle. So you can score from everywhere. But to trap and gate and go is yeah, inside and outside at the moment. Inside and outside. Pretty much an even split of wins. But out of our 7 heats, we've got 5 winners for the away side. And just the 2 in Rohan TUNGATE and Charles Wright for the home team. That's the difference at the moment. The Lions are getting themselves out front and getting race wins. So just while we've got a bit of track grade, I think we can switch back over to the pits, and hopefully Greg Blair will be able to get us an interview.
Well, hello, it's me again, back down in the pits here at Oxford, and we're just having a little bit of a look around, seeing what's all going on. We can maybe grab a quick word with Ashton. Ashton, that was a bit of a brutal move on you there in that second bend, but do you feel like it was a little bit unfair, or is it just Premiership racing?
I think it was a little bit unfair because he could have gave me a little bit of room, but he gave me nothing. He put himself on the fence, so yeah, it's Premiership racing, but just got to get on with it, and yeah, I'll give it back to him in the future, I'm sure.
That's what it's all about. Keep it in there, and you'll get him back eventually, I guess. But going forward for the rest of the night, just keep piling in and keep getting them points.
Yeah, definitely. It's the last one, and just trying different things and always learning, and yeah. And
you know, your debut season in the Premiership, you must be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely show what I can do. So I just like some more riding, keep training, and keep learning.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for speaking to us there, Ashton. Cheers. There we go, Ashton BOUGHEN. It's only just turned 17. Unbelievable. A young lad like that. I can hardly remember what I was doing when I was 17, and it was only 4 years ago. I know Kilbs will be laughing up in the box when he hears that. But just having a bit look through the pits, we do actually have Sam Masters here as well. I'll just see if I can grab a quick word with Sam. Sam, we're live on Oxford TV. I'm sure you've done plenty of these kind of interviews before with Oxford, but showing that you know this place and you're looking awesome around here tonight.
Yeah, I don't feel great from the start, to be honest, but hopefully I can make a few now and make it a bit easier. I know I got it. Gate 1's dynamite, isn't it? So now I got gate 3 and then 4, so it'll be tough, but we're having fun. That's
what it's all about, having fun. And I mean, me personally, I think that Leicester's probably going to go all the way in the league this year. You're looking pretty good. Same with the Championship club at Oxford. You guys are looking pretty hot as well. Is it going to be quite hard work? You're in playoffs in both leagues in the UK. I mean, what's it like on the continent? Are you busy over there as well?
Yeah, I'm in the playoffs there too, mate. So, you know, it's this time of the year is really tough on you. The hardest time of the year for sure. You're pretty worn out from the season, but it's the most important time of the year. So you got to battle on, and yeah, the tough get tougher in this situation. So, but we've got good chances to win in all 3 of my teams, to be honest. And if I could do that, mate, what a year.
And you'll be looking forward to getting back to Australia for some nice summer weather when you get home.
If we keep talking about that, mate, I'll probably dull off for the playoffs. So we won't think about that right now, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and, you know, we're all having a good time.
Exactly that. Well, thanks for speaking to us, Sam. Thank you very much. Imagine that. 3 of your teams all in the playoffs. Unbelievable stuff. But we'll head back up to Kilbs, and he'll have a bit chat. So, Lee, take it away.
Yeah, cheers, Greg. Yeah, I was laughing about your age. You know that. You called that already. Really good to hear from both Ashton and Sam there. Yeah, Ashton feeling that move was quite a tough one. I think it was, but you know, the nature of this track is that's the line you want to get on, and you know that someone coming around you, you've got to close that door. But like you say, you'll keep that in the locker and use it fairly against Luke Becker at some point in the future, I'm sure. Maciej JANOWSKI there just having a word with Peter Schroeck. He's really come into form, Maciej. He hasn't taken the checkered flag as yet tonight, but he's had 2 solid second places and he's looked fast, so we know what he's capable of. More than capable of making starts and getting wins. They know that. Let's just have a quick look at the 2 other meetings this evening. Kings Lynn and Sheffield. Well, Sheffield are starting to turn that one around there at Kings Lynn. They're now leading 22-20. Chris Holder only dropped 1 point so far. He's coming into his own. Jack Holder, he won his second outing after coming second in his first one. And across at Ipswich, again 19-17, close there against Birmingham. Freddie Lindgren unbeaten for the away side. Tom Brennan with 5 from 2 rides. So a pretty even meet in that one. So 3 meetings on. Obviously the playoffs already done and dusted. Positions can change hands in that top 4, but it's going to be the top 4. We know who's in there. As we know here, this is all about pride at stake. There's Sam Hagen talking to Martin Dugard. Sam will be out here. He's going to be going off of gate 1, so if he can make that trap. Erik RISS will be going off of 4. That's the 2 gates that are working at the moment. We'll just get the tractor off track. Some sponsors coming across us onto the centre green. It's always good to see. And the tape's getting put back in position. So it looks like we are going to run to programme. Obviously Heat 8, you can't do any tacticals in Heat 8. You can swap your reserves about. So we are Erik RISS, Luke Killeen, Richard Lawson, such a strong rider to have, and Sam Hagen. So again, it's going to potentially split off into 2 heats here. We've got big riders in Erik RISS and Richard Lawson, and a couple of the up and coming boys of the sport in Luke Killeen and Sam Hagen. But Sam's got a point on the board, Luke's got a point on the board. They've both been on their bums at one point tonight. Just finished the 1 race out of 2. So 1 minute and 45, referee's got the 2 minutes on. We're going to get the riders around, there we go, 1 minute and 40 and counting. And again, gates 1 and 4, they're the places to be. It'll be interesting to see if we can get anything off of gate 3 here from Richard Lawson. So off the inside, Sam Hagen for Leicester in yellow. Next to him, Luke Killeen in blue. Point apiece for those 2 so far. Richard Lawson, paid 3 from his ride so far. He's going to be in white off of gate number 3. And Erik RISS, exactly the same. Paid 3 from his ride so far. He's going to be in red off of gate number 4. Abingdon Beds, they're sponsors of our heat number 8 here. I say it every time I commentate. It's a crucial heat in the context of this meeting. This is and especially for tonight, if Oxford can get a result out of this one, that's going to just bring that scoreline back in. If Leicester can get a result in this one, it will just increase that gap, and that's when it can start to look a bit daunting for the side that are chasing. So Erik RISS, Luke Killeen, Richard Lawson, Sam Hagen. Everybody bar Sam Hagen off the bike at the minute doing a bit of work. As we look down on that, you can see gate 2 there as an example. There's plenty of grooves on gate 1 especially there, look. So there's plenty of options to choose from. What we tend to find, 4's been superb today, but what we see is the riders move closer to the fence as the meeting goes on. Where that dirt line really builds up, and obviously during the duration of the race, the riders tend to go over gates 3 and 4 more than they do 1 and 2. So that tends to get a bit more of a pounding. So we are 18:24, heat number 8. Green light on, tapes go up and away we go. Even break up into the first turn. It looks like Richard Lawson's made a good one. Sam Hagen's riding a nice inside line, but keep an eye on Erik RISS. Luke Killeen just gets over the top of Sam Hagen into that 3rd place. Richard Lawson's out nice and wide. Erik RISS up the inside. We've got a battle out front here between the top 2 in this race. Richard Lawson, Erik RISS, they're battling away out front. Luke Killeen holding on to that all-important 3rd place. Can Erik RISS get up over the top of Richard Lawson to get the home site a heat advantage? Or is this one going to be shared again? Erik riding a slightly different line up the inside compared to Richard Lawson. It's nice and close out front. There is a bit of a gap back to Luke, and there is a bit of a gap then again back to Sam Hagen. Erik looks up the inside. Is he going to get the run? Richard Lawson just back over the top as we come into the last lap. One big lap here from Erik RISS. What can he do? Can he get up alongside Richard Lawson? Or will Richard hold on to this? He's going to try that outside line for a blast on the last. No. Richard Lawson holds on. Erik RISS 2nd. Luke Killeen in 3rd. Share of the spoils in that one. As we were, 3-3. Richard Lawson with the win. Erik RISS with the 2nd. Luke Killeen 3rd. 21-27. Good win for Richard Lawson. No more than he would expect, I imagine, out in that heat. but the important point goes the way of the home side. Richard Lawson with the win, Erik RISS in second, Luke Killeen third, so it's the Oxford pair in that pack into second and third. Minor places, that gets us a 3-3 scoreline, 21-27 as the races tick on now. And Richard Lawson gives us a winner off of gate 3. He made a strong gate from gate number 3, pretty even with Erik RISS. That didn't mean Erik could get a run around the outside there. Gets over the top of Luke Killeen. Sam Hagen rode a nice tight line, but Erik RISS got over the top of Luke Killeen and Sam Hagen, and as Sam was coming into 3, he had to pretty much shut off. There was nowhere for him to go with the 2 Oxford riders in front of him. And then Richard Lawson rode conservative, rode well, held his line, made no mistakes, and held on to that win to give us a 3-3 scoreline, a winner off of gate number 3 for the first time. As we move into the second half of this meeting now, 6-point gap. Chris Harris, pointless from his first 2 rides, very unlike Chris. I wonder what changes have been made in the pits. Just trying to see if that's a different bike that he's on there. Potentially. Might have had a switch of machinery there. For Chris coming into this one, Charles Wright, he potentially won't have done anything after a fantastic win last time out. And as you can see there, Ryan Douglas and Craig Cook, again another strong heat this one. Just over a minute for all the riders to get to tape. So Ryan Douglas, 4 points so far from him. He's going to be in white off of the inside for Leicester. Charles Wright, blue, 4 points for him. He's going to be off of gate number 2 for Oxford. 3 points for Craig Cook from that win in heat number 2. He's going to be in yellow off of gate number 3. And 2 last places for Chris Harris. He's going to want to put that right. He's going to be in red off of gate number 4. If he can make that trap and use that line, it's gone off a tiny bit compared to the early heats. But that is what Chris is going to be looking to do. You can see a busy home straight. Good crowd in again tonight. Always well supported, every team, every level here. Bands turn out to support the team. What can that man give them? Something to cheer in this one. SD Timo Car Sales are our sponsor of heat number 9. Spencer Timo, former rider. Picture of his dad, Rick Timo, in the programme tonight alongside my dad, which is nice. Okay, so here we go. Heat number 9. 21-27. What can Oxford do to eat into that? Tapes go up and away we go. It's a good start inside from Ryan Douglas. Charles Wright as well. Keep an eye on him. Will he get the run around the outside? Chris Harris looking quicker than he's done all night. Chris up the inside comes Charles Wright, but Ryan Douglas repays the compliment. But will Charles get the run back up the inside? Yes, he does. Keep an eye on Chris Harris up the inside of Ryan Douglas here as well. Ryan just locks up a tiny bit but gets his wheels in line down the back straight. Charles Wright out front, Ryan Douglas second, Chris Harris third, riding a totally different line. Chris up the inside, but Ryan just gets back over the top of him. Craig Cook's just drifted away at the back. The battle out front between the 3 of them. Charles Wright looking to get his second race win of the night. Ryan Douglas now just looks like he's a bit more comfortable in second. Chris tried his socks off there for a couple of laps, buzzing all over the back of Ryan Douglas, but it looks like Ryan's just stamped his authority on that second place. But it's a great win for Charles Wright by the look of it. Second one of the night for him. It is a heat advantage to the home side. Charles Wright with the win, Ryan Douglas in second. Chris Harris, try as he might, Chris Harris just couldn't get up there alongside Ryan Douglas into that second place. But it is a 4-2 to the home team. Heat advantage that they needed. Charles Wright going to come round and take the applause from the crowd. 25-29, back to a 4-point gap. Charles Wright, second win of the night for him, following that third place in his first one, and it is a point on the board. It's not what Chris Harris would have wanted, but it is a point on the board. Charles Wright with the win, Ryan Douglas second, Chris Harris third, Craig Cook at the back. 4-2 to the home team, 25-29 the progressive. They just eat into that deficit just a tiny bit. So nobody's going to leave here tonight with a maximum. Oh, Sam Master's still unbeaten. Sam could be the only one. Everybody else has had their colours lowered. Here we go from the start. Ryan Douglas makes a good gate off of 1. He heads into that first turn, but Charles Wright just gets over the top of him. Keep an eye here. Watch Charles Wright. Bomber gets loads of speed down the back straight to get ahead of Craig Cook, but Ryan just moves off that line a little bit, and Charles Wright takes advantage, comes up the inside. Ryan repays the favour, but then he repays it back again. Charles Wright. Great first lap from those two out front, and then Chris was looking up the inside. He was buzzing around the back of Ryan Douglas, but just couldn't get up in amongst them second place points, and has to settle for 1 point from his 3 rides so far. So we're moving straight on with heat number 10. The referee's getting those 2 minutes on Swift. We are Luke Becker off the inside for Leicester. 4 points so far from him. He'll be in yellow. Off of gate number 2, Erik RISS. 4 points for him. Second place last time out. He'll be in blue off of gate number 2. The unbeaten Sam Masters, only one so far. He'll be off of gate number 3 in white. And Rohan TUNGATE, 5 points for him. A win and a second. He's going to be off the outside in red for Oxford. So we're 25-29. Fortress Alarms, they sponsor this big heat. As we go into the back end of this meeting, this is where it all becomes important, all becomes crucial. Sam Masters hasn't been beaten so far, but Rohan TUNGATE, sorry, he's looked fast. Erik RISS, couple of second places for him. Paid second in his second ride. He's looked like he's dialed in. And then Luke Becker a win and a third. So everybody knows how to win in this heat. Erik RISS just takes his time. 35 seconds or so to get back up to tapes. There's another win off of gate number 1 in that last one. It was actually gate 2, wasn't it? So we've had a winner off of every one now. As always is the case here at Oxford. Okay, so we are moving. We are heat number 10. Here we go. Green light on, tapes go up. Strong start off the inside from Luke Becker and Erik RISS, but keep an eye on Sam Masters. But Rohan TUNGATE's moved up the inside. Will he shut the door on his Australian compatriot? Yes, he does. Sam Masters finds himself at the back, but Luke Becker, importantly, for the away side, he finds himself out front. Rohan TUNGATE gets the run around. I think Erik RISS actually let Rohan TUNGATE get the run around him there because he could see that he was carrying the speed. But Luke Becker out front. Rohan TUNGATE second. Erik RISS third. And Sam Masters, unbeaten before this heat, he finds himself at the back. Can the Oxford boys do anything about Luke Becker out front? Looks like he's pulling away. Oxford packed into second and third, and you've always got to remember Sam Masters. He can get a run, he'll get a line, he'll move up to challenge as well. 1 lap to go. Luke Becker out front. Oxford packed into second and third. Looks like we're going to get a share of the spoils in this one to keep that 4 point gap as we move into heat 11. Yeah, it's a win for Luke Becker. Second place Rohan TUNGATE. Third place Erik RISS and Sam Masters. No maximum men this evening as Sam fails to score in that one. But importantly for the home side, the away side, sorry, Luke Becker got himself out front, got some fresh air, and was pretty unchallenged in that one. That's the strength they've got when Sam Masters doesn't turn up for whatever reason. Very rare that he doesn't. Luke Becker certainly does. So there we go. Luke Becker with a win for Leicester. Second place Rohan TUNGATE for Oxford. His teammate Erik RISS let him go by. I think he saw that Rohan had the speed coming off of turn 4. Them two pack in. Sam Masters at the back. So it's a 3-3 scoreline. Fortress Alarms, the sponsor of that 3-3 draw. 28-32. So here we go. We can see it from the start again. The inside 2 gates that made the trap, Sam Masters just found himself a little bit wide there, and that gave Rohan the opportunity to come underneath here and shut that door. But keep an eye on Erik RISS. He just has a look at his teammate here, can see that he's got the speed and just lets him go through. Yeah, just lets him get ahead of him. So you can see he's got that run, and it almost paid off. But Luke Becker's pretty fast. He had his wheels in line in the right spot. So that's Erik Ryder. And number 2, your night ends relatively early on heat 10. So it's 5 paid 6 by the look of it for Erik RISS from his rides tonight. As we move into heat number 11. Maciej JANOWSKI, he's going to be off the inside in red. Max Fricke, gate 2 in white. Ashton BOUGHEN in blue off of gate number 3. And Richard Lawson, this is his last programme ride. He will be in yellow off of the outside. Smiths of Bletchingham, they're the sponsors of heat number 11. Maciej JANOWSKI finds himself off the inside. Luke Becker trapped off of 1 in that last one. Charles Wright off of gate 2 before then, so we know we can get gate winners off of everywhere. It does tend to offer and even itself out a little bit an offer, and that's what it's done again tonight. Just the 4 point gap, always close. I think 90% of the Spires meetings here have been close. Potentially one of the reasons they haven't made the playoffs. Just can't get enough of a home advantage to take to the away meetings. And again, as would be the case if this was the first meeting. 20 points the gap on aggregate. I'm not going to be able to bring that back in, I don't think. So we are Maciej JANOWSKI, we're Ashton BOUGHEN, Max Fricke and Richard Lawson. Seconds. Maciej JANOWSKI just a bit of a clutch adjustment there. Here we go then. We're on heat number 11. 28.32. Tapes go up and away we go. Maciej JANOWSKI made a great gate off the inside. Ashton BOUGHEN just had the door closed on him there. Whoa, very close between Max Fricke and Maciej JANOWSKI. Just keep an eye on Richard Lawson. He's got plenty of speed coming down that back straight. He's got himself ahead of Max Fricke and he's going to set sail for Maciej JANOWSKI, but once Macie's out front, he's very, very fast. He's going to be riding the fastest line. You can see they're drifting out, kissing the base of the fence on two and getting a big long back straight, plenty of speed. So it's going to take a lot for the Leicester Lions to get up and challenge Maciej JANOWSKI here. Riding really well. Ashton BOUGHEN again just cut adrift away a little bit there. He was sandwiched going into the first turn. And again, tough heat for him. All the heats are tough really for Ashton, so nothing expected of him. But as we go into the last lap, Maciej JANOWSKI out front, Richard Lawson and Max Fricke there tucked into second and third together. I think Richard Lawson just pushes Max Fricke on there, but it's going to be a great win for Maciej JANOWSKI. First one of the evening for him. Ashton BOUGHEN just goes big in that last turn. Max Fricke second, Richard Lawson third. Again, another share of the spoils, keeps a 4-point gap. But a solid win for Maciej JANOWSKI off of gate number 1. We know he can bring it. Second place I think was Max Fricke. Third was Richard Lawson. So a 3-3 scoreline, 31-35. That's Richard Lawson's meeting complete. There we go, Maciej JANOWSKI with a win for the home side. Max Fricke and Richard Lawson for Leicester packing into second and third. Ashton BOUGHEN tries he might. At the back there, tough heat for him. 3-3 scoreline, 31-35. Still that 4-point gap. A bit of solid win for Maciej JANOWSKI to take his first checkered flag of the evening. Here we can see it from the start. Ashton BOUGHEN does get a bit sandwiched in there. Good gate from Maciej off the inside, yeah. Max Fricke just moved across the line of Ashton BOUGHEN. That paid his heat because Richard Lawson's got that wide line down the back straight. That propels him in front of his teammate and Ashton BOUGHEN. But Maciej JANOWSKI back wheeling it down the home straight for the first time. He was fast, he was out front, he's looking good. Richard Lawson got up there just a tiny bit to challenge, but once Maciej was out front, was very, very little that anybody could do, and it was a 3-3 scoreline. So 5 off the inside. We have had winners off of gate 2 and 3 now, and then 4 winners off the outside. So it is the inside and outside, but again the points are pretty spread, you know, getting tricky to score points from gate number 3. But the inside and outside. So when it comes to the back end of the meeting, Oxford get to pick the gate. It's going to be a debate where to go, 1 and 3 or 2 and 4, but we've got a couple of big heats to go before that point. So let's have a look at some of the scorers from today. Yeah, Rohan, there's 3 7-points to pick up on for the home side. Rohan Tungate with 7 from his 3 rides. Charles Wright with a couple of race wins. He's got 7 as well. That win there for Maciej JANOWSKI, that gives him second. And yeah, popped up on Erik RISS. He scored solidly with a paid 7 from that tricky position number 2 in the side. And for the away team, again, a couple of 7s to pick up on. Max Fricke, a win and a couple of second places for him. Becker, 2 wins and a third. He's looked really fast once he's got out front. Ryan Douglas with 6 points. And Richard Lawson with 6 paid 8 from his 4 programme rides. Scoring very solidly both sides, really. Apart from the bottom ends there. 4 points from the away team, from their reserves at the moment, and 4 points from the home side, so very even meeting. That's the reason we've only got a 4-point gap. It's going to be very interesting as we go into the back end of this meeting. Both the number 2s have been pretty solid. Their programme rides are finished. Will we see them again in heat 15? It's always the problem for when you're riding at number 2. Your meeting finishes relatively early, so you've now got heats 12, 13, 14 to sit and watch the racing. For the home number 2, you know, his meeting finishes at heat 10. So you've got four heats before heat 15. So if you've had a good meeting and you are back out, that track can change a little bit as we flick into those back end of the meeting and those final few heats. Yeah, we can just see a bit of the crowd there on turns 3 and 4. Good strong crowd, loads of waves. Good to see all those guys in. Spear wouldn't survive without these people. Lots of waving as we come around, that's nice to see. See if I can pick up on anybody I know. Good to see everybody. Nice wide range of ages, plenty of kids in, which is good. Still in school holidays, got another week I think the kids. There's the old pits entrance there on the left, that's where the riders used to come out in the old Oxford days. It was a bit special, but it's better to be able to see the pits now like we can see what's going on over there. Get a chance to have a wave at the camera. Little man, yeah, he's going to do it as well. It's good to see. Yeah, really good, great crowd in. Always get a strong crowd on turns 3 and 4 here. Great spot to stand and watch. Obviously no back straight, that's where the pits are, so you can stand on turns 3 and 4. You can stand on turn 2 really. Hospitality boxes are little lad enjoying himself. Hospitality boxes are positioned on the entrance to turn 1. You can stand just before the pits on turn 2. So water bowser's out, tractor's been out, just getting a bit, tractor's still out, yeah, still doing a bit of work as we prepare for the second half of this meeting. So what we'll do, just while we've got a bit of tractor and bowser racing, let's have a look at a heat of a meeting gone by.
4. Anders ROWE goes in yellow, gate number 1, Luke Killeen, blue, gate 2. Niels Christian Everson will go in white this time. He's in gate 3 with Chris Harris. He is in red off the outside. And they come to order. Let's fly, where they go. Killeen makes a decent start off gate 2, trying to force his way through on the inside of Everson, who's made a good trap off gate 3. Killeen looks across to see where Anders ROWE is. Those already being left here, and here come the Spires through on the inside. Chris Harris around the outside. Luke Killeen through on the inside of Everson. And once again, looking great for the home side here, as Chris Harris and Luke Killeen have found a way past Niels Christian Everson. No stopping Harris on the first lap, right around the outside, as he loves to do. And Luke Killeen having a fine old night so far, holding on to second ahead of the vastly experienced Niels Christian Everson, though. Does make a bad mistake there, runs wide, Everson looking for the opportunity. He'll now try to leg trail style, throw it around the outside, but Killeen with a 10-metre advantage. And it's all going horribly wrong for the visitors here. Oxford unstoppable, it would seem. Down the back straight for the final time. Harris will circumnavigate the top corner. He will take it impressively enough. But Luke Killeen, what a fine ride from him again. He defeats the vastly experienced Niels Christian Everson there. Fine ride from the Oxford Spires on that first lap. And quite rightly, they should come around on a lap of honour for that. And the Spires, well, already up by 14 points after just 4 races. And, well, already you can start to think about the league points. Chris Harris, there's the race result. Harris with a win from Luke Killeen. Niels Christian Everson in third, 5-1.
Yeah, Pete Ballinger on the mic there, that meeting for us, Oxford TV. That was a great meeting, good win for the home team. And Luke Killeen showing us what he's made of in that one there, up against the class of Niels Christian Everson. I know Niels' career is on the other side, but he's been an incredible speedway rider, Niels Christian Everson. And for someone like Luke to lower his colours was really, really great to see. So here we go, we'll just have a bit of a shot of the pits. Maciej JANOWSKI, big win for him last time out, a couple of seconds and a win now. Seems happy here at Oxford, you know, it'd be superb if they could get him back here next season. I think the crowd really stuck by him. It took him a little while to get used to, you know, every track. It's been a little while since Maciej has rode in the UK. He's obviously had spells with Swindon and Poole in the past, two that spring to mind. But incredible rider to have over. You can see his programme there. That's what a lot of the riders do, just slap an X on their heats so they can see when they're due out. And what I know a lot of riders used to do is they do the same thing, but they would actually just line out the opposition riders so they didn't know who they were riding against. Concentrating on themselves rather than anybody else. So yeah, whether Chris swapped heats or not, I don't know in that last one. From when he was struggling, he only got the point in his last one, but he looked quicker. He definitely looked quicker. See the ignition box there. Yeah, I don't know whether he swapped bikes or not. But perplexed this evening, Chris. Yeah, normally give us a smile or a thumbs up, a bit more focused. And things don't go your way. When you think he's riding grass track, long track, speedway, plenty of different setups for Chris and his team to look after and look into. There's the away pits. Again, they had an 8-point gap a couple of times this evening. Oxford keep eating back into that, but they have led from heat 1. That 4-2 in the first one from Max Fricke and that man there, Richard Lawson. That set the tone of the meeting. 3 heat advantages early on. Of even Steven races was followed by a 5-1 for the home side, and we have had a 4-2, and then we had a few 3-3s in the last few heats. So yeah, it's just ebbed and flowed a little bit in the last handful of heats, just keeping it nice and close. Bit of work there on Max Frick's bikes. We'll see Max out in heat 13. Big heat 13. Tungate, JANOWSKI, Fricke and Douglas. That'll be a big heat. Sam Masters and Stewart DICKSON there. Sam knows what it's like to be both ends of the pits here. Home side and away side. All smiles. Ryan Douglas doesn't seem to be struggling too much with his arm injury that he's got. 6 points from his 3 rides. Luke Becker just getting himself back together. We'll see Luke again in heat number 14. He's got another ride to go. 2 wins and a third from his 3 rides. Dougie's last programme ride will be heat 13. We may see him back out in 15. To be honest, anybody in the top end of the side here for Leicester could find themselves in heat 15. Maybe 3 or 4 riders to choose from in the home side. So there's Craig Cook. He's coming out in yellow in this one, along with Sam Masters in front of him. Chris Harris there on track in red. And as long as there's no switch at reserves, it will be Luke Killeen in blue. Yeah, we can see the number 7 there on screen, Luke Killeen. So we are going to go to programme here. Chris Harris, Luke Killeen, Sam Masters, Craig Cook. A win in the first one for Craig. And then a couple of last places. After that, we don't know how much of that crash. You know, the adrenaline can be running through the body after a spill. That potentially get you through the rerun of the heat, and then when you've had a chance to sit in the pits, everything calms down, cools down a little bit, and sometimes that pain can kick in and potentially affect you for the rest of the night. So we are moving on. Got a minute and a half on the clock. So Humphrey-KENNETT, our referee, has not a great deal to do tonight, but what he's had to do, he's done well. Chris Harris wants to improve on that 1 point for sure. He's going to be off the inside in red for Oxford. Craig Cook, win first time out and then a couple of lasts. He'll be in yellow off gate number 2. Luke Killeen, been in the thick of the action tonight. Blue, gate number 3, paid 4 points for him so far. And Sam Masters, unbeaten going into his last race when he ran a duck. 5+1, he's going to be in white off of the outside. So the last 2 heats have been won off of gate number 1. That is where Bomber finds himself. And then in the 2 heats preceding, we had gates 2 and 3, giving us the 1 win off of both of those. So it's the back end of the meeting that's given us those wins off of 2 and 3. That is where Craig Cook and Luke Killeen find themselves. Colin Perkins, property manager, sponsors of heat number 12. Let's see if it's a positive one for Oxford, or whether Leicester can just create a bit more of a gap going into the big heat number 13. Chris Harris off the inside. Craig Cook off gate 2, Luke Killeen off a 3, Sam Masters off a 4, heat number 12, green light on, tapes up and away we go. It's 1 and 3 that's made the gate. Sam Masters has got over the top of Chris Harris. Craig Cook has got underneath Luke Killeen, so it's a 4-2 to Leicester as we head down the back straight for the first time. Chris just goes in a bit deeper, as does Luke Killeen, to look if they can get a run down the outside, round the outside of the lines that they're chasing. Yeah, Sam Masters looking really fast out front. Bomber on his back wheel there just gave the opportunity for Craig Cook to have a look. Craig's riding the curb. Is he going to get up the inside of Bomber? It looks like he's gonna. Can Chris repay the favour round the outside? Craig's going to get the run. Bomber at the inside. Yeah, he's going to put it back underneath him and just move Craig over. Sam Masters, he's out front. He's got fresh air. The battle is for second. Bomber gets that second place. Chris Harris gets himself back into second place. Craig Cook moves wider to see if he can get a run down the back straight. It's just settled down now after a bit of a battle there for a couple of laps, but it looks like it's going to be a heat advantage to the away side. Sam Masters with a win, Chris Harris in second, Craig Cook battling away there with Bomber for that second and third. He takes third place, but it's another 2-4 advantage to the away side. Just extends that gap back to 6 points. 33-39. Bomber having a ding-dong battle with Craig Cook there, and Sam Masters has already pulled away, but when you've got a couple of riders battling for space and place, that tends to allow the rider out front to pull away. But an important third place for Craig Cook gives that away side the advantage. The Oxford fans don't know if to cheer or not cheer Sam Masters there. He's on the opposition tonight. Win for him, Chris Harris second, Craig Cook third, Luke Killeen fourth. 2-4 in that one then to the Leicester Lions. 33-39, the advantage back to 6 points. Here we can see it from the start. It was inside and outside that made the gate. Chris Harris and Sam Masters. But Sam got himself over the top of everybody into first place. Bomber here in second. Craig Cook in third. As the race developed, you know, a nice battle between the two. Luke Killeen just having a bit of a look on Craig Cook there, but couldn't get himself up. I think this is where Bomber lifts coming down the back straight. There we go, and that just lets Craig Cook in, and that is then when we had the battle for a lap. Craig Cook and Bomber swap in place. Swap in second place, up the inside there came Craig Cook. Just moved Bomber over, but then Bomber cut back up the inside. Himself into second place. Had a nice battle there between the two of them, but it was Chris that ended up getting that second spot. But 4-2 to the away team, just gives them that advantage again. Another winner off of gate 4 as we move swiftly into the big heat number 13. Excellent lineup this one. Max Fricke will be off the inside in white for Leicester. Rohan TUNGATE red for Oxford off of gate number 2. 7 points apiece for those two. Ryan Douglas, yellow, gate number 3 for Leicester. 6 points for him. And Maciej JANOWSKI completes the foursome here in blue off of the outside, also 7 points. So they've scored well, all 4 of these boys. They have all taken the checkered flag this evening. They've all won a heat. Jamie not here this evening. Resident DJ couldn't make tonight, but he is the sponsor here of the big heat number 13. Rohan TUNGATE and Maciej JANOWSKI, they come up against Max Fricke and Ryan Douglas. 3 Australians in a pole. Big heat on the cards. Oxford needs something, that's for sure. But when you're coming up against Max Fricke and Ryan Douglas, it's a big ask. But in Rohan TUNGATE and Maciej JANOWSKI, they've more than got enough in the locker. Can Oxford get a heat advantage in this heat 13? Takes up and away we go. Even break going up into the first turn. Max Fricke out front. Is he being joined by his teammate, or will Rohan TUNGATE come round the outside? Turns 3 and 4 will tell us. Keep an eye on Maciej JANOWSKI as well. He's looking to get up on Ryan Douglas. He's looking to come up the inside now. Will he make that move on Ryan? Has he got the speed? No, Ryan just holds on to that third place. But it is Max Fricke. He's out front. Looks like he's got this race in the bag. The battle is developing for second, third and fourth. At the moment it's Rohan TUNGATE. It's Ryan Douglas. Rohan TUNGATE, Ryan Douglas and Maciej JANOWSKI. Oh, Ryan just lifted there. That's given Maciej the opportunity to get up the inside into third place. and split the heat. 1 lap to go. Max Fricke out front. Rohan TUNGATE second. Maciej JANOWSKI gets himself into third ahead of Ryan Douglas. Is that just going to half the heat? Yes, it will. Looks like it's going to be a 3-3 scoreline. Max Fricke with the win. Rohan TUNGATE second. Maciej JANOWSKI battling hard to get that third place. And Ryan Douglas just couldn't hold on to that third place. So a 3-3 scoreline means we'll go into the last 2 heats with a 6-point advantage to the away team. 36-42. Max Fricke untroubled in that one, as was Rohan TUNGATE. The battle was between Ryan Douglas and Maciej JANOWSKI. Max Fricke with the win, Rohan TUNGATE second, Maciej JANOWSKI third. Ryan Douglas held on to third place for a while there until Maciej got up over the top of him, giving us a 3-3 scoreline. 36-42, 6-point gap going into the last couple of races. It means we've got a big heat 14 on the cards. But in Charles Wright, we've got a rider. You can see the riders. You can see the difference. Look on the gates. You can see what that's the options the riders have got when they come up to tapes. They need to pick one of those ruts, and then they tend to drag the dirt and pack it down in. There's no real deep ruts in all of them. Sometimes the rut can get so deep, but it can come into contact with the exhaust, and the riders are pulling out of it. But in Luke Becker and Charles Wright, we've got a couple of riders that look really quick this evening. In Ashton BOUGHEN and Sam Hagon coming out for their 4th rides. So we've pretty much gone to programme this evening. All the reserves getting their full quota of rides. All 4 reserves not scoring heavily enough to replace anybody else. So we're going to see Ashton BOUGHEN off the inside in blue, Luke Becker off white off of gate number 2, Charles Wright red off of gate number 3, and Sam Hagon yellow off of the outside for Leicester. AW Hobbs Building Supplies, they are our sponsors of heat number 14. AW Mobs, sorry. So it's a 6-point gap. What can Oxford do? What can they do to take this to a last heat decider? A win for Luke Becker will give them that important 45, and that'll be job done for the away side. They've got the aggregate well and truly in the bag. But Charles Wright, he's won his last 2 and has looked really fast. Luke Becker, 2 wins from his 3 rides. He's looked really fast, so he should have an exciting heat from those 2 boys that find themselves off of the lesser gates in this one. In 2 and 3, Ashton BOUGHEN off of 1, Sam Hagon off of 4. Still got 20 seconds, green light hasn't come on yet. Now it has. Heat number 14, away we go. It's a good start from Luke Becker off for 2 and from Charles Wright off for 3. Luke Becker out front, Charles Wright moves into second, Ashton BOUGHEN in third. But this will be the meeting if Luke Becker can hold it. But Charles Wright, what can he produce? Can he get up? Can he get that win? Can he give us a heat advantage for the home side? He looks to cut up the inside. Different line this time. Will he get the run down that back straight? Build up some speed, some momentum. Luke Becker looks quick and just pulled away a little bit there. Yeah, Luke Becker pulling away out front. Looks like he could sew up this heat. Sew up the meeting. Luke Becker out front, Charles Wright second, Ashton BOUGHEN third, Sam Hagon 4th. This one just looks like it's already been put to bed with a lap to go. Luke Becker out front looking super fast. This will be the heat, this will be the meeting. Nobody challenges anybody in this one. Luke Becker takes the flag with the win. Charles Wright in second, Ashton BOUGHEN in third. Another 3-3, 39-45. There's the meeting for the away team. Stewart DICKSON and Leicester keep on rolling. Third win of the evening for Luke Becker. He's rode superbly, as was highlighted by Stewart DICKSON at the beginning, top of the show. He's been the one on form, and so it proves. Massive win in heat 14 for him. Charles Wright in second, Ashton BOUGHEN third. They share the heat. 3-3 scoreline, Sam Hagon at the back, so 39-45, 46-44, the best that Oxford can get from this meeting now. They won't finish with a win. It's been a great season for them, but again, as has proved all season, they've just come up short at home on a couple of occasions. So keep an eye on the middle two there, the boys that make the gate, Luke Becker and Charles Wright. But Luke is out front there. Charles can't just get that speed coming off of turn 2 to get over the top of Luke Becker and ends up chasing. He does go in big here to see if he can get a run around the outside, but just not worked. And Luke Becker was out front. Importantly for Oxford, you know, packing into second and third, so they shared the heat. Sam Hagon couldn't get up on Ashton BOUGHEN there. 6 wins off the inside, 2 off of 2, 1 off of 3 and 5 off of 4. The points have pretty much come from the inside and the outside. Gate 2 has offered lots of support, and Gate 3, that's not been the place to be this evening. So going into the last one, bit of a team debrief. He's got some choices there. Stewart DICKSON. I'd imagine we're going to see Rohan TUNGATE and either Charles Wright or Maciej JANOWSKI for the home side. It'll be one of those three, or 2 of those 3 I would have thought. And for the away team, Max Fricke's been quick. Luke Becker's looked great. Sam Masters won his last one. I'd imagine it'll be 2 of those 3. So we shall see. Ryan Douglas sat in the pits. He's not part of the conversation. The chances are he's going to sit 15 out. But a very positive season for the Spires. They can take a lot of credit for the season that they've had. Like we say, they've just come up short tonight. They've just come up short in the playoffs. But it's a different proposition, top end, top league. There's no easy races for anybody. Is Charles just swapping his helmet colour? Or is he putting the helmet away? He might well be putting the helmet away. Rowan pretty relaxed. I don't think we'll see Erik RISS. Battled hard for his 5 points tonight. Rowan just checking the phone, checking what's going on. And just while we wait for confirmation of the riders in Heat 15, I'll just have a quick look at what is going on elsewhere. Let's go to Foxhall. Switch against Birmingham. 43-41 there. Nice and close that meeting. As we head into the last race, still could go either way. Freddie lingering unbeaten for the away side. Troy Batchelor scoring solidly, 9 paid 11 from his programme rides. So that means can still go either way. And up at Kings Lynn, 37-35. Got a few more races to run there still. They haven't completed Heat 13 that was stopped. So that one can go either way. 3 close meetings this evening. Jack Holder unbeaten after coming second in his first one. And a real mix of scorers across the home side. Anders Rowe picking up 7 from his rides. Ben Cook scoring well as a guest. So 3 close meetings where we can see 2 of the riders there. It's going to be Max Fricke in yellow. It's going to be Maciej JANOWSKI in blue. You may have seen on screen I was looking at my phone, looking at the scores, so you might already know who's in. Yeah, we're going to have Rohan TUNGATE, Maciej JANOWSKI, Luke Becker and Max Fricke. Not a surprise, all 4 of them have ridden well tonight. Rowan in red, Magic in blue, Luke Becker in white and Max Fricke in yellow. Promoter and team manager there. A quick debrief before 15. Again, they can feel rightly proud of their first season back in the top flight, just missing out. Fans obviously want and demand their team get into the playoffs. Someone's got to miss out, and unfortunately it was Oxford that missed out in the top league. But they'll have learnt a lot. Peter Schroeck and Jamie Courtney will have learnt a lot from their experiences this season. I'll try and put that right when they come back again next season. But as we can see tonight, there was nothing on the line for them but pride, but a great crowd has turned up to support, which is great. We thank you for tuning into the stream. If you're unable to get to track, if you're a Leicester fan that couldn't get down here tonight, or if you're a supporter of any other team up and down the country, thank you for joining us. And if you've seen a few of our streams, thanks so much for tuning in. It is enjoyable bringing you the stream. I do enjoy it. Hopefully my voice is not too painful for you. And we brought you some good action as the season's gone on. We do still have a couple of meetings to go. We're back next week where we will see the Cheetahs finish their programmed calendar season. They are going to be in the playoffs, the Cheetahs. The chances are we will be back with them again, maybe, maybe not, depending on what happens with BSN showing the playoffs. It will either be on Oxford TV or it will be on BSM. And then we've got the under-19s, British under-19 meeting from Sandy Lane, which will be a great meeting. 5 of the Oxford Chargers are in that meeting. So here we go, heat number 15. We've got 35 seconds till tapes up. We've got Luke Becker off the inside in white for Leicester. Rohan TUNGATE red off of gate 2 for the home side. Max Fricke yellow off of gate number 3. And Maciej JANOWSKI blue off of gate number 4. All 4 of these riders have taken the flag. All 4 of these riders have ridden really well. Let's hope they give us a blockbuster heat 15 to see out this season. Eurosport are the sponsors of heat number 15. Let's see if these boys can give us a massive heat 15 to finish off our Spires streams this season and close their season out. Big heat 15, last one of the season here for the Spires. Tapes up and away we go. Blast into that first turn. Pretty close there between Max Fricke and Rohan TUNGATE. Will Rohan move out and shut the door, or will Max Fricke get the run? Max Fricke gets the run down the back straight. And out front, Luke Becker had already checked out and gone by the look of it. Max Fricke had the work to do to get himself into second place. Maciej JANOWSKI's moved up into third now to challenge, but already we've got a bit of a gap between the home side and the away side here. Luke Becker and Max Fricke looking fast out front. But keep an eye on Maciej JANOWSKI, he's working hard. He's moving up to challenge Max Fricke in second. Is there enough material? Is there a line out there that he can use to get himself up into that second place? Or are the Leicester Lions going to hammer home a 50-40 scoreline with a big 5-1 in the last race? It does look like they're going to. Luke Becker's been exceptional all night long. Just the third place, blotting his copybook to add to his 4 race wins. It's going to be a big 5-1 for the away side. Luke Becker, Max Fricke, Maciej JANOWSKI, Rohan TUNGATE, 5-1 to the away side. Congratulations to them. 50-40, they take the win on the night. Luke Becker's been exceptional, as has Max Fricke. Only 1 point drop by Max Fricke, only 2 points dropped by Luke Becker. Congratulations to Leicester. Maciej JANOWSKI and Rohan TUNGATE come round. Pop a few wheelies for the home fans and the away fans here on this home straight. So it was a win for Luke Becker. It was second Max Fricke. Maciej JANOWSKI moved ahead of Rohan TUNGATE in third to challenge, but couldn't get up in amongst the points. Amongst the front two, it's a 5-1 to Leicester. A 40-50 scoreline there to put pay to the heat. There's your final scoreline. Rohan TUNGATE just comes around, a wave to the home crowd. Do a bit of a burnout. There we can see. Spewing up plenty of dust. Bit of a burnout to see the season out from Rohan there. Appreciated by the home crowd. It was appreciated by the starting marshals there. Getting covered in dust, but it is 50, it is 40 to the away side here. We can just have a look at we'll run through all the scorers. Rohan TUNGATE with 9. Good evening's work for him. Erik RISS, 5 page 7. Chris Harris, tough night for Chris. Just the 3 points from his 4 rides. Charles Wright worked his socks off in the middle of the meeting there to pick up 9 points. Maciej JANOWSKI, 9 page 10. Couldn't get up to move into that scoring position in heat 15 really. Ashton BOUGHEN, 3+1. And Luke Killeen, 2+2. At the bottom end, 40 points for the home side, and for the away side, Max Fricke just dropped a couple of points there in the middle of the meeting. 12 paid 13 for him. Richard Lawson solid, 3 third places and a win, his 6+2. Sam Masters, 8+1 for him, just that 1 last place. Luke Becker, rider of the night, 4 wins and a third for his 13 points, exceptional performance. Ryan Douglas battled away there for his 6 points. Craig Cook, a win in his first, a third in his last, and a couple of lasts in the middle. And Sam Hagen, a point for him. So 40-50. Congratulations go to the away side. They take the win on the night. They guarantee they're already in those playoffs. They're pushing to finish top of the table. So they get to choose and have the back end of the season their way. So thank you very much for watching. from all the team here on Oxford TV, this is our last Spires meeting, but we will be back with the Cheetahs, and we will be back with the under-19 British final. So thank you very much for watching. If you can't get down to track, we're the next best place. Enjoy the rest of the season. Thanks for watching. From me, Lee Kilby, and everyone on Oxford TV. Have a good evening.